I'd rather be ghosted, because if you get ghosted, you can just say, oh, they maybe changed their number. It's much worse when the person just texts you less and less and less and less. It's like this slow torture drip where you realize, oh, they want nothing to do with me, and there's no mistaking it.
Y'all on this app hooting and hollering the same all day. Why do y'all still pursue women? What's the point of pursuing a woman if you don't want to be a man? You know who you don't have to provide and protect for? Other fucking men. Because that's what it's given at this point. Then y'all sit there and be confused on why they don't want to have with you. Why they can't be submissive to you. Why they can't be soft with you. Don't give them no room to be a woman, because they got to sit there and pick up the slack where you lack it. And that's being a man. Then you want to call it manipulation. No, manipulation is you young man sitting there cosplaying as men.
Showering every day is propaganda made by the government.
Do you shower every day?
What, I shower like once or twice a month.
No. I got to go.
That's I know, because
I got to go.
Ain't no way you only shower once or twice a month,
once
girl.
or twice
Come
a
on
month.
now.
Why would you shower more than that? But use baby wipes and you wipe it off. Listen,
But I'm saying though, so when you
showering every day is
what we talked about
propaganda made by the government
But
to
I'm
keep
saying-
you from not making money.
If you don't know what he wants and you've been dating him for a while, you're not going to ask him where you stand. You're going to tell him this, write this down. I've enjoyed spending time with you, but I don't date just to pass time. I date to meet my person, to create a future together. And then you're going to watch what he does, not what he says, because he can tell you anything he wants. Now, if his actions stay surface level, he avoids depth, he avoids consistency. You have to quietly start pulling back. It doesn't matter that you see the potential in this relationship. The only thing that matters is the pattern of his behavior that he shows you. If there's no real effort on his side, then you know what he wants.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. Modern women have so many double standards. It's not even funny. And that's the main reason why you see a lot more men checking out.
Do women need men?
No.
No.
Not really. Not really. I mean, we are enough for each other. No. No. I mean, why? No. Women no. Man. No. Women could be कर सकती है, बहुत कुछ कर सकती है.
Do men need women?
Yes, of course. Both need each other, right?
Everyone needs a partner. So a man needs a girl and a girl needs a man.
For love, yes.
Yes, of course.
Do?
Men need women.
Yeah, they do.
Do men need women? Yeah, definitely.
You know what you don't do enough? Give yourself enough credit for all of the work that you put into your relationship. See, you're so distracted, worried about your ex leaving, them possibly being happy with somebody new, how dirty they did you, that you don't think about how you were being a good person to someone who likely didn't even deserve half of the shit you did. Like, think about how many times you were forgiving for a situation you should have freaked the out about. How many things you let slide on the strength that you could hopefully work through it together. How much effort you put into planning birthdays, holidays, special occasions, just because. The type of loyalty you showed despite having 1,000 opportunities to betray their trust. All because love, right? It makes you choose the individual over the temptation. The love over the argument about the dumb. But now you feel like it has you looking stupid. Nah, that's all a fabrication in your mind, convincing yourself that you weren't good enough, when in fact, you might have been too good to somebody who clearly never valued the compassion and pure-hearted love that you gave them in the first place.
You know, you have a lot of men checking out of dating because they're looking at the landscape and they're like, I don't know if this is worth my time, man. I don't know if I should even be out here. I think I'm gonna go get a burger and go home, man.
You need to change your mindset as a man. When you hear no, you need to translate it to next. The biggest challenges that men face today is that they're afraid of rejection. So what happens is that because they're afraid of being rejected, they just don't approach that many women. When you hear no and when you face rejection as a man, you simply just need to tell yourself that you're at the wrong place. If this woman tells you no, it means next. If this woman is not right for you, maybe she's not compliant, like my previous points. Maybe she's not compliant. Maybe she can't follow your dreams. Maybe she's not as motivational enough as you want. Maybe she just stops respecting you. It's time to hop on to the next. I'm going to keep it real with you. As a man, you can't just have one option. women. That's stupid. Ask any smart investment manager at any bank or any investment firm. One woman is just not enough. I'm going to sound really toxic by saying this, but it just does not make sense.
Any colors? That one's self-explanatory. Thank you.
I don't understand how there's thousands of videos like this. They're not funny. And if a man made videos saying what women shouldn't be allowed to do, they would lose their mind. Men can't even make a joke along those lines without women freaking out. So why is this okay? I just don't understand it. And they're always the most silliest, pettiest things. Oh, men can't have an allergy. It's not funny. What's the point?
Why do you think dating is hard?
Because of social media. Social media got these chicks thinking that they got options that they don't have. So they only got bread and then turn around and be mad when them type of dudes who got a bunch of money want every... See, women only want to deal with dudes who don't have no opinion. That's why you see a lot of these bad chicks with these goof off. We ain't gonna challenge them on nothing. We ain't gonna ask them no questions. They want to they can talk too crazy and disrespect them because they don't want no structure. They scared of real men, you feel me? I said women don't like dudes who got their own, who don't need them. They rather deal with men who are not that intellectually aggressive, who gonna let them say what they want and do what they want. Not saying you like that, but most women out here don't want to deal with a man who gonna say, baby, nah, don't wear that. Nah, baby, don't talk like that. They don't really want to deal with that. They rather deal with a dude who let them say and do whatever they want to do. And they think if a man be a man, he's toxic.
A lot of these modern women don't understand that men are checking out of dating because it's just a math thing. It doesn't really have anything to do with bitterness. When dating costs you your peace, it costs you your money, it costs you your mental health, and your return is uncertainty, then at that point in time, all signs are pointing to just walking away.
How do you know if you should settle down or pass up for someone better? That's a great question. I even want to hear this answer.
I think that a lot of people are in relationships because they can't afford a rent on their own. A lot of people are in relationships because they don't want to fall asleep by themselves at night. A lot of people are in relationships because their mom or dad tell them that they're getting too old. A lot of people are in relationships for the wrong reason. And the truth is, when you get to a space where you love you enough to get rid of the noise that comes from outside of you, the people, the places, the things, the biases, the societal norms, when you get outside of all of that, now you can powerfully choose. I'm choosing you because I want you, not because I need you, although I'm not going to act like I don't need you. I'm going to move like I genuinely want you in my life. And until you get to that point, I don't think you should be in a relationship.
I agree.
Types of guys who get rejected always. Number one, the guy who lacks social skills. Randomly calls the girl anytime, gets flirty or comfortable too soon, asks personal questions too soon. This type of a guy na, the things he does, the way he behaves, इसको ना basic समझ नहीं है. इसको पता भी नहीं होगा that he lacks social skills. Number two, the guy who makes everything about meeting. Let's meet tomorrow. Let's meet soon. Are you free this weekend? His intentions are not bad though. He just wants to meet the girl. But he's overly persistent. He keeps bringing up the same thing again and again. Let's meet, let's meet, let's meet. And honestly, it's just too much. It's annoying after a certain point. Number three, the guy with a weak approach. This type of guy does not really know how to approach a girl. Somehow he does manage to approach, but the way he approaches is so weak that he ends up getting rejected.
The morning light is coming through, the feeling is bizarre. The night is almost...
A lot of these modern women like to mock. They like to degrade, insult, challenge, shame a man, his masculinity, his values. And then they wonder why men are opting out of dating. You don't really like that man. You just like the attention that he gives.
You can't change people. You can want the best for them, but you can't build it for them. Sometimes trying to help someone evolve only makes them feel like who they are isn't enough. You send them podcasts, books, plans, they still choose the couch. You think you're showing them their potential, but to them it feels like pressure, not love. Because the truth is, not everyone wants to be pushed. Some people want peace more than progress. Some confuse comfort with happiness. And when you try to wake them up, they'll call you demanding instead of devoted. Growth only sticks when it's chosen, not assigned. You can't build ambition into someone who resents movement. And the more you push, the smaller they will make you feel, just to stay comfortable. So you start to question yourself. Maybe you're too much, but you're not. You're just trying to love someone who doesn't want to level up. You will drain yourself trying to hand them wings when all they want is ground that doesn't challenge them. So stop trying to expand people who fear expansion. Let them be who they are without your fixing. Because the right person won't feel pressured by your standards. They'll feel inspired to rise with them.
What's up, gang? Self-respect means going towards the right people. When you have self-respect, more people will put attention on you, negative and positive. Maintaining and building self-respect means saying no, learning to walk away from people who do not deserve your attention, those who do not reciprocate, those who take, and instead going towards people who are good for you, who will embrace who you are, rather than reacting negatively towards you. Saying yes to the right people, being open and giving to the right people. The right people will always amplify who you truly are. They will never make you feel like you have to perform. Once you feel like someone is trying to make you perform, that is when you say no and walk away. They want to box you into something you're not. Self-respect is about filtering people. Filtering for who deserves your attention. Filtering for who will give you the correct respect. You should always be kind to people. Self-respect prevents you from overgiving yourself, and it protects your authenticity. Watch my YouTube for more. Join my Discord or school communities. Drizzle.
I have a lot of these singles events that are full of women. Men absolutely checked out. That empty room, well, it's a room full of women, but you know, that room that's empty with like no men there, that's a sign. That's a sign. I'm not coming. I won't be here. That's not an accident.
If you get into a rebound relationship or hook up with strangers after a committed relationship, you are weak. And I know this is going to piss some of you off, but if that last relationship meant anything to you, you would not be doing what you're doing now. You are choosing not to heal, you're choosing not to learn your lessons, and you're choosing quick and easy comfort. It does not matter what your situation was. It does not matter how bad that person treated you. You are choosing not to heal. And if you get out of a committed relationship, you need time to process. You need to process your traumas. And if you are unable to do that, it means you are unable to sit with yourself. You cannot stand being in your own presence. So you're going to go run to someone else to try to fill that void. What you need to be doing is putting yourself in a season of solitude and singleness. That does not mean going and hooking up with people and acting single. That could mean journaling, meditation, traveling, working out, and etc. Because if you don't process that last relationship, you're going to bring every single problem into the next. Insanity is the definition of doing something over and over again, expecting different results. So take the time to process, take the time to actually heal, because if you don't, you're only hurting yourself.
Honestly, you know, men are tired. They're genuinely tired of the nonsense, the BS, the crap that modern women continue to put out here online for no freaking reason. I'm not about to continue to be a part of that. And so when you get mad that I'm checking out, remember, hey, I as a modern woman had a part to play in this.
And I have been living together for 1.5 years now. And he's moving out next week.
But why? Are you breaking up?
We're not breaking up. It's just a new phase for us.
New phase? I smell the Lulu.
He's moving in with his brother. And he's always dreamed of living with his little brother. So who am I to get in the way of that?
You are his girlfriend and he is an adult who already lived with his brother when they were growing up.
I'm also 26 and he's only 24, so if he's gonna live with his little brother, like, now's the time to do it.
No, the time was when they were kids, which they already did. Jesus Christ, the delulu is very strong in this one.
But don't get me wrong, when he first told me the idea, I was like, what the f?
Correct response.
As I thought more about it, I was like, wait, this is a great idea.
No, it is not. This is a worse idea than metal chewing gum. This man managed to convince her that this is okay. This man sounds like he can convince the IRS that they owe him tax. Except the IRS is not delulu.
We've also been together for 3.5 years. It's a fun chapter that I'm ready for. And he's only living like a mile away from me, so he's not going too far.
Girl, I bet 7 chicken nuggets he is breaking up with you, and I do not risk my nuggets.
I usually can't talk about stories like this because my mom brain doesn't allow me to. And I myself have an 11-year-old daughter, but I feel the need to talk about it because this came up on one of my other social media platform feeds, and I clicked on the comments, and the amount of double standard against this man who is her father, who fought for custody of her for 9 years since 2015 when he divorced the mom. And this is what happened last month. Welcome to the comments. I truly hope they thoroughly investigate this. Something isn't right, and I'm willing to bet it wasn't the mom at all. This one almost sounds somewhat logical, which makes it even more dangerous, but it's ridiculous. If anyone knows anything about family court and you read the article, it sounds like was obviously involved. The mom was wrong no matter what. Of course she was wrong. But courts don't make orders like that unless it exists. So no, the daughter wouldn't have been better off with her father necessarily. This is why court professionals need to be educated. Okay, blah, blah, blah. The fact is that this 11-year-old isn't here anymore. I think that's the worst that can happen. The comments alone just shows how much bias there is against dads when it comes to divorce and getting custody of their kids. And the bottom line is that you should take a story like this and realize that sometimes a daughter is safer with her dad than her mom.
These modern women will ask about your net worth before they ask about your values. They're not going to check and see if you have integrity. They're going to check and see how much money is in the bank. And most men say, oh, you date me for, you want an ATM? Okay. Check, please.
What's your type?
What's my type? Successful and like-minded. I like people that are into fitness as well because I'm like big into working out.
You work out?
I do work out. Okay.
Okay.
Do you think men like attitude?
I don't give a
That's precisely the problem with modern women right there. That's precisely the problem.
They don't care.
You want a guy that's been successful that's going to tolerate like that? That's crazy to me, bro. This is why we need to go back to making women second-class citizens. You guys are useless. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous to me how women just go around disrespecting men, acting crazy, saying, like, I'm feisty and I have an attitude. That's like me walking around saying, you know, I'm homeless and I don't want to pay for buy me something. No girl would take you seriously if you came up to her like that. She'd be like, what the f-? But women think it's okay and cute to be rude, crass, and disrespectful. Like, we like that. We don't like that. The only guys that will sit there and tolerate bitchy behavior like this are dudes that are pussies. Like your ex was a progressive, which makes a bunch of sense. You think a guy that has his money together and has a conservative mindset is going to sit there and tolerate fuckery from you? Drunk.
Bro, I just didn't want to define my sexuality. That's all I said.
I don't know. All you had to say was, I'm heterosexual.
Well, I don't really believe in those terms because I don't know.
So you don't believe in the English language? See, that's the problem with you New Yorkers. You guys are stupid. Because the thing is with liberals is that you guys don't live on Earth. You guys, I don't use these terms. Like, I'm a lawnmower one day, then another woman and another damn a man. You guys don't live in reality.
Where are the guys that could actually handle all this?
Oh, there's entire neighborhoods of guys that are waiting for you. Yeah, just go out to MLK Jr. Boulevard, say the name Tyrone, and before you know it, you'll be pregnant and waiting for him to come home with milk.
Why do you girls keep making videos like this? Do you guys hate your husbands
forgot I'm happily married and pregnant for a second there, and then it's this girl looking way too excited, and then it's her showing, you know, her at a concert. I'm not really sure. She even has the hashtag. I'm just noticing that as hashtag cheating, hashtag Myco cheating. I do not get couples like this, because I've met guys who openly have had their wife make like jokes about cheating on them with a famous football player or this. And I'll ask them privately, like, are you comfortable with that? Like, why are you allowing that? And what I think, in my personal psychological opinion, the reasoning they mostly give is like, oh, she's joking, this. She wouldn't actually do that, this. And in my opinion, a lot of these men just don't want to argue with their wives. They don't want to get into the debate. A lot of the men, too, know that they don't hold most of the power in their relationship. They know if they get into the argument, like 99% of the time, she's going to win it, even when it is so obvious what she's doing is disrespectful. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I think it's very funny. Girls will sit there talking about like, oh, check out the guy that you're interested. Go look at his following. If he follows a bunch of lustful type women. And a lot of women have this like, you know, standard for men that they're just meeting on dating apps. You'll see women essentially lusting over a man that's a complete stranger. Some of these men have allegations that they've actually hit women. You know who I'm talking about. And then you're sitting there being like, oh yeah, like I know I'm pregnant and I have a kid and this. It's just so insane to me, because they can sit there and say it's a joke all they want, but we all know that every joke has a little bit of truth to it. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
When you break up with your girl after 3 weeks not speaking till you break up with your girl, she's at the gym already with a whole other man. Are angry, are miserable.
People always seem surprised when the girl moves on quick. It's because fellas never knew. You just never knew. Stay woke in the streets like big brother.
Girls seek revenge. A grown woman is going to cut you off, move on, and act like you never even existed, which is not a performance. It's a promotion she's made in her maturity to the version of her that can see the clown in you behind that king costume. So if there is a reaction that you can get out of her at this point, it's laughter. Just at how comical your delusion is that she would want to come back to you after all that you put her through. In which she doesn't arrive at this point overnight. It happens in stages. Like in stage 1, that's when she's still sad about your behavior or your betrayal. This is the most vulnerable version of her that's emotional, maybe crying and trying to plead with you to get things right. But then there's stage 2, where that disappointment starts to set in. And now her expectations of you are starting to lower. Then there's stage 3. That's when the audacity you have is causing her to lose all respect for you. At this point, she's going to start creating distance, maybe even leave the relationship altogether. But in the stage 4, if she's committed to her healing, that's when she gets outright disgusted with you. And that's when you've lost her for good. Because once she gets to that stage, her apathy isn't an act. It's an awakening to who you truly are. And don't get confused by her taking a break from dating anybody else. That's not because she's in battle with whether or not to give you another chance. That's because she's still getting over the embarrassment that she gave you the first one. And see, at this point, you're going to be blowing her up and texting her, and her responses are going to get slower and slower until they just stop. Not because she's contemplating whether to work things out, but because she's confused as to why you still have enough confidence to reach out. I mean, she went from picturing her last name matching yours to being ready to gag anytime your first name is mentioned around her. Yeah, that type of woman ain't got to destroy you in order to get to this point. She just got to discover her worth. So don't confuse her being silent with her giving you silent treatment to get back at you. That's her sanitizing her spirit now that you've been removed. Because when a woman truly knows that she's the prize, she doesn't want to get revenge on a parasite. She wants pest control so you never come back into her life.
The woman represents another front, not a rear. So what's powerful is I've got this and she's got that. And there will be some times where she is in the front and I've got the back. And then there will be other times when I've got the front and she's got the back. But together we are unstoppable, and every once in a while we'll spin it around and be side by side, and you definitely can't mess with us.
In my opinion, and I need to know this from men, when you get to a place where you feel like I'm out, how can we resuscitate you? How do we resuscitate you when you have checked out, men?
I had a better question.
What?
How do you know when he says they're done at this point?
I know. So men, help out. How do you stop it from getting there? Ladies want to know this.
Grade 9. Do the things we did in the beginning. That's the thing. Keep dating, keep talking.
Zero shade, but why don't men ask women out anymore? Like, the guys that I'm meeting, matching with on Hinge and everything else, they're pen paling me. Like, asking me the most absurd questions that I know they don't care the answer to. But, like, why don't you just ask me to hang out, and then we'll see if we actually have chemistry and go from there? Why are you asking me what I did today, and then not planning a date? Please, a straight man in the comments, answer. I'm so frustrated. Like, I don't know what to do. Help.
If she's watching all your stories but not texting you back, you're not crazy, but you're misunderstanding it. A lot of guys think, well, she's still watching me, so she must be interested. No. Watching your story takes zero effort. Texting you back, that takes intention. If she liked you the way you think she does, you wouldn't be sitting there staring at your phone wondering what's going on. She's not confused. She's just comfortable keeping you in the background. Attention is not interest, and views don't mean value. If you've ever been stuck overthinking this, it's exactly why our Join Muse coaches exist.
Ladies, listen to me. Everything that men do is 100% intentional. Everything that a man does, he does it with intention. You guys are living in La La Land. You guys have been watching Disney too much. I need you guys to wake up and smell the coffee. Everything that a man does is 100% intentional. Okay? So if he's not replying to you after so many hours, if he's taking hours to reply back to you, he knows what he's doing. If he hasn't spoken to you in weeks, he knows what he's doing. If he's texting you but not planning a date, he knows what he's doing. He has a plan, and that plan just means you're not included in that.
Let's talk about this comment for a second, especially the last part. Straight man that doesn't need their life energy to survive. If a man doesn't need a woman's energy to survive, he's gay. He had to specify that this is straight man. I don't agree with that. No straight man craves to live with his bro as a roommate. All go on dating apps looking for women. If they didn't want women, they would isolate themselves. Men want to be close with women. They want to be vulnerable with women. They want to love women. A man doesn't need that. He's gay. What are you talking about? I think you have it all confused. Are you gay?
If I just taught him how to be a great boyfriend, if I taught him how to be a great husband, he would be that great guy that I've been looking for. And it's like, men can learn, and some men can be great learners, and they will take your training, but some will not. I think they don't like to be trained either. You know, and especially a 41-year-old, forget it, boss man, forget it, who's cheating on his wife for you at work. This man, he's doing everything wrong. He's not doing anything for you. He's doing everything wrong. But I've kind of, trained my husband, and he's trained me, to be fair. We've both had this effect on each other. But I think fundamentally he had to have, so did I, the raw materials. It had to kind of be there to be able to go somewhere.
He did everything right. He got the job, he got the wife, he got the house, he got the car, he got the dog, he had the kids, he did everything right. He did everything right that tradition told him to do. He didn't show his emotions. He wasn't being a weak man. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was doing everything right. In fact, he was almost borderline perfect. But he was alone. And he felt alone. Because after a while, the emotions started eating him up. After a while, he started to realize that he wasn't okay. And he knew that he couldn't go on antidepressants because his wife would hate him for that. He knew that he couldn't speak back because she started turning his words against him. He knew that he had to consistently man up because that was what tradition had told him. He was living a life that was fake, with a fake smile, thinking every single day of secondhand.
I love how women talk about how they mess things up with a good guy simply because he made one mistake, or even she broke up with him for literally no reason. Yes, Women do that. I hear about it. And then as they're dating other guys, they realize that he invested way more in her that other guys have not. So she's realizing that he was a genuinely good man. He put in so much for her, and she realizes it, but she's too stubborn to go back to him. This could be for many reasons, but at the end of the day, she regrets losing him. So instead of coming back to him, she's going to numb her pain by getting with multiple guys. And when that doesn't work, guess what she finally does? If you guys would like personal advice, it'll be in my bio.
Y'all are in y'all bag over this. Like, y'all are so upset about this. And what I like to know is when old girl was on that sprinkle movement, fulminating out the mouth, dogging our men out, talking all kind of trash about them, trying to put us on, give us tips, and teach us how to train and move as if they were pets, a part of our lifestyle. Y'all had no words for that. Y'all were hooting, hollering, cheering it up, sharing with your friends, tagging this person. You know, oh yeah, that's racist. Oh my God, this, that, and the third. But now that somebody else has started this drizzle movement, y'all got all the issues in the world. And all I like to know is, why?
When a man is truly in love with you, you don't break his heart. The man that protects you with his life, the man that doesn't ignore you, the man that is loyal to you, you don't ignore him. The one that provides, the one that is your problem solver, the one that reminds you how gorgeous you are on a regular, the one that does not want to hurt you or make you cry, the one when he goes shopping, he's always thinking of you. He can't go a day without talking to you. He wants to pour into you if you have any business ideas. He takes the time to sit down and hear you and listen to you. He feels when you're off. That's a man that loves you. He is emotionally in tune to you, protects and provides. That's hard to come by. You don't betray that at all. You hold on to that.
One of the biggest ways you can disrespect yourself as a woman is by staying in a relationship with a man who refuses to commit to you. I've said this before, but men know very, very quickly if they want to marry you. Like within the first conversation, they're either thinking she's wifey or she's not. So if a man is dragging you on for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years with no ring, then he has commitment issues, and you're doing yourself a disservice by staying in that relationship. Masculine men know what they want, they make the decision, they go for it. They don't leave you guessing. There's also this big joke among women where they're like, yeah, I've been hinting it, I've been sending him rings, I've basically been asking and begging. No. You shouldn't even have to do that. My husband basically said, marry me or I'm leaving you. We're either doing this to get married or we're not doing this at all. So if you know that you want to get married, yet the man in your life that you want to marry is not showing that and not making the decision, then you are only disrespecting yourself by staying in that relationship. You should never have to beg to be proposed to, and I stand on that.
On the day my divorce was final, I'll never forget what my ex said to me. He looked me right in the eyes and he said, "You're going to regret this. You're going to get 6 months down the road and you're going to regret divorcing me." And you know what? He's right. I did have regret.
I see this shit happening more and more often, man. You know, genuinely. A lot of the times women will leave their man, their husband, for however many years that they had them. And, oh, well, the grass is greener. I'm going to go and get this guy. I'm going to go do this. And, you know, and you know, the grass is never greener. I want men and women to understand that. You know, like if you have a good partner, if you have someone good by your side that takes care of you and appreciates you, doesn't go out and cheat on you, what the f*** are you doing? Whether you're a girl, woman, circle in between, what are you doing? The grass is greener where you water it. You work on that. You build that. Nothing's overnight. No relationship is perfect. I don't give a who you are. I don't care. It don't matter who you are. And, it's a cold game we're playing out here, boys. Pick and choose wisely. Get with someone who loves God. Get with someone who has that relationship with God. You guys pray together. Fix it together. Work on it together with God. That's what we are supposed to do. And I hope more people can hear this message and really understand that.
When a man tells you that he thinks you're wifey material, what he's telling you is that he sees in you a good servant.
Right. Sadly, though, there are some women out there that genuinely believe this, and that would be because they have encountered that small minority of men that unfortunately do want their wives to be nothing more than servants. But even more unfortunately, those women that actually believe this seem to lack the critical thinking skills to understand that not all men are the same.
When he says he sees wifey material, you need to hear that he sees you're easy to exploit.
What's really sad is there seems to be an ever-increasing number of women that will try to find any way to try to make themselves out to be a victim.
The man who sees you as wifey material is planning for you to have a nice long life of cleaning his dishes, washing his socks, and getting on your knees whenever he wants you to.
Some really do try, don't they?
As I recently heard a man say online, you may not be feeling so well, but your mouth still works. That's how they see us. That's what wifey material is. Wifey material is an insult.
Take a lesson. That is how prejudice starts. Someone takes one thing that apparently a rather uneducated individual said and applies it to an entire population. That's exactly how that happens.
And listen, I don't give a how much money you got. One thing about a man, once he asks me out on a date, okay, we could go. Now I'm weird. I'm weird because you thought you was bigger than the program. You see, one thing about men with money, they think they could do and speak to you however they want. I don't give a You could be a millionaire and I'm going to treat you how you deserve to be treated. Okay, stop playing around. Y'all meet a like me and call me weird all of a sudden. Why? Because I don't let you slide. Yeah. Men get mad when you don't want to do whatever they want you to do. Men get mad when you don't stay quiet just because they got some money. And your money. Never cared. I never. Listen, I mean, no me importa. You could be a millionaire, have a helicopter outside. Guess what? You're going to respect me. Push. What? They be thinking they're the shit. Oh, because they got this car, because they got bitch. When you loser boy, you're not going to take none of that. Learn how to treat women. Learn how to treat others, because none of that matters when you're a piece of shit. If you got money and you think you bigger than the program, treating people like because you got this, you got that, you could tomorrow. And all that stays, and you still gonna be in the piece of human being that you are. None of that matters when it comes to a real. You understand? I don't give a how much money you got. I don't care what you could bring to the table. I am the table. Please and thank you. You're not gonna get sit around and treat me like because you got money. You want your money.
My name is Casey and I make mostly videos for lesbians, but sometimes I answer your dating and relationship questions. I got a question today that I'm going to do my best to answer as kindly and honestly as possible. So here's a question. I have a lot of trouble getting a woman to date. Why is it that women will talk to other women and hang out together, but they never want to do this with a man? Okay, I'm a lesbian, so we're not going to approach this from my perspective. We're going to approach this from the perspective of a straight or bisexual woman. Why would a straight or bisexual woman feel more comfortable spending time with women than spending time with a man? And the answer is, it's not all men, but it's almost always a man who will overstep a woman's boundaries, not take no for an answer, who will try to use kindness as currency, expecting something in return. And so there's a reason that women have learned that it is safer to choose a bear in the woods than a man. Don't be like those men. If you want women to want to spend time with you, don't use kindness as currency. Don't expect things in return. Just be a decent human being and respect her boundaries. Take no for an answer. And also recognize that if she doesn't want to spend time with you, that's okay too. She has agency and she should get to choose. So if you want to know why women don't want to spend time with men, it's because women have learned over time that it's not always safe. And if you want to be a man that women want to be around, do better, do differently.
We are losing men to peace. We are losing men to ourselves. Men no longer prioritize women. The man at peace is an unbuyable man. Some women are still thinking that men are in that scenario of chasing after, calling, despairing for the lack of a woman, for her absence, when in reality, today's man, he is increasingly valued. He understood that a woman is not the center of his life, that a woman is not the most important thing in the world, and it is perfectly possible to live without one. Today's high value man, he seeks to make money. He seeks to do business. He seeks to grow, to develop himself. He removed women from his focus. Today's man, he realized that his peace is worth more. There is no relationship that can buy his peace. Today's man, he is unbuyable. He is non-negotiable. The peace he chose for his life has become non-negotiable. If you are a woman and are waiting for a man to venerate you, a man to idolize you, a man to dote on you, I'm very sorry, but perhaps that won't happen, because the more time passes, the more we have seen that today's generation of men is not like the generation of old, and it is we women who have been losing high-value men, serious men, hardworking men, dedicated men.
I'm not the same guy. I'm not the same guy. You gotta go. I don't like her. I'm not using this rude, but you're in a way. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking. You're gorgeous. I'm just telling you, you're gorgeous.
If you're watching this, chances are it's over for you. Modern women receive massive inbound attention. Average women get access to above average men. Women are biologically wired to seek status, resources, and competence. The modern woman is opportunistic. Love is conditional on perceived value. The top 10 to 20% of men get the majority of access. Women would rather share a high-value man than commit to an average one. Women are hypergamous. Dating apps are rigged. Marriage is risky. Opting out entirely is more rational. It's already over, so the logical move is to give up, right? Wrong. Because here's what they don't tell you. I used to believe all of this too. And you know what happened? Nothing. Because believing it's over protects you. You don't have to try. You don't have to fail. You don't have to prove yourself wrong. But the moment you believe it's over, it becomes over. Not because the dating market shut the door, but because you stop knocking. See, most guys scrolling this content aren't looking for tactics. They're looking for permission to stay stuck. They want someone to confirm, yeah, you're right, it's hopeless, just give up. Because that's easier than exposure. Easier than testing whether the boundary is actually external or if it's you. Yes, women are hypergamous. Yes, the market is unfair. But most guys never test how unfair it actually is. They assume their limits before they collide with them. They assume difficulty with impossibility. So yeah, if you're watching this, it's over for you. Unless you stop treating certainty as safer than uncertainty. Unless you stop assuming your limits instead of testing them. The story changes the moment you step into exposure. Comment gold if you're ready for that moment.
Your wife has vultures circling at work right now. They're not loud. They are not obvious. They are just there, waiting patiently for their turn. One rough morning from you is all that they need. One fight that never gets fixed right away. One cold, see you later as you both storm out the door. That tiny crack in her armor is all that those vultures need, okay? Right now, while she's at work, there are plenty of men circling around her, waiting for their moment. The first guy who hits her with a, "Hey, rough morning? You still look beautiful though." And then a smile on her face, and it is game over, pal. It is his turn now. Every woman's social media profile says loyal, but the truth is she's loyal until the feelings fade. Loyal until somebody else makes her feel alive again. So how do you eliminate the next man on her lineup? You have to make home undefeatable. Never let her walk out of the door mad. Give her one deep, locked eye compliment in the morning that actually makes her blush and feel something. Maybe hug her longer than just 2 seconds, tap her butt as she walks away, and ravish her in the bedroom when she comes home. Do this every day, and those vultures, they stay circling forever, and they don't have a chance. They never get to land, because when a woman feels met, desired, and truly chosen at home, some random "you look nice today" from another guy is never going to hit her radar ever. Loyalty isn't a promise that she makes. It's a reality that you build, so it's strong enough that she never has to leave or wants to leave. So start now or tomorrow. But it might be his turn if you wait too long.
remember my grandfather telling me, God rest his soul, before he passed away, that men have 4 different appetites that you have to tend to. He said men are not complicated. He said, I'm just going to break it down to you. He told me, he said, men have a physical appetite, a visual appetite, and an emotional appetite. And for a minute, I really didn't understand it when I was younger, but as I got older, it really started to click. It always stayed with me. He said, physically, you need to make sure that you know how to cook. And if you don't know how to cook, then find out how to cook. And if you can't, then at least have a meal on the stove or in the stove. By the time he get there, that's warm, especially if that man is taking care of the household. He said, it don't take a lot of work. He said, it don't. And I watched my grandmother do it. I watched her do it, so I know that I'm capable. He said, a visual appetite. He said, keep yourself up. He said, if you're the only woman that this man is going to be with, at least keep yourself up. He said, because men still need to be stimulated visually, so that way they can crave you. He said, and yeah, he said, love will still be there. He said, and although your looks will fade, you the one woman that he wants to look at. Give him something, excite him, make him imagine something, tease him, right? And then there's my grandfather told me, he said that yes, visually you can stimulate a man. He said, but don't forget that men are nature. He said, and so they gonna want to do what they want to do to their woman. You're the only woman that he's sleeping with. You're the only woman that he desired. Take some time out of y'all day. He said, look, if y'all got to share the responsibilities, share the responsibilities. You both do things in the house, so that way when the kids are down, y'all both can bathe and oil each other down and do what y'all need to do. He said, that's gonna help y'all connect. And then last one, he said, men do have an emotional appetite. He said, all men want to feel is appreciated, understood, heard. That's it. He said, just listen to him. You don't got to talk much. Just listen. He always told me that men are not that complicated. He's absolutely right.
Since you guys are so curious about my marriage, I'm going to talk about it. These are the controversial rules in my marriage that some people hate, but they work for us. We live traditionally. My husband leads, I follow, and our marriage has never been stronger. Rule 1, he has the final say, not because I'm weak, but because I trust his judgment. One leader means no chaos. Rule 2, I don't have to work. If I want to quit everything tomorrow, he would support me. What I choose to do is my freedom, not my burden. Rule 3, I protect the home. Cooking, cleaning, nurturing, creating peace. That is my power. A man cannot fight battles outside if his home feels like a battlefield itself. Rule 4, no opposite best friends, no secret DMs, no just friends with somebody who would date you if they had the chance. Loyalty is black and white. Rule 5, he pays the bills, I multiply the value. He provides financially, I turn what he provides into meals, memories, and a home worth living in. Rule 6, no clubbing or bar scenes without each other. Single life behavior does not belong in a committed marriage. Rule 7, no thirst traps online. If you ever see a risque photo of me, it's because my husband posted it himself and I reshared it. I'm not advertising for other men's attention. Rule 8, he protects me physically, I protect him emotionally. That's the masculine and feminine dynamic working in sync. Rule 9, divorce is never an option. We fix it, we fight for it, we don't quit when things get hard. Amen. Rule 10, sex is never a bargaining chip. It is not a weapon, it is a part of intimacy that keeps the bond alive. These rules might sound crazy to modern culture, but they work because we respect our roles. You don't have to agree, but don't knock what's working. If this makes you mad, ask yourself why. And if you get it, you know why traditional marriage is stronger than ever.
What a lot of modern women like to say, but they really don't understand, is that checking out isn't really giving up. It's essentially men are redirecting their time. They're taking their energy, they're taking their money that they were spending on dating, and they're putting it somewhere else, right? They're spending it on themselves. They're investing in themselves. And at that point in time, like I said, the math just works. The ROI is better and it's a little bit more guaranteed.